Is upon us, and you brides out there are working hard to make sure your big day is absolutely perfect, and maybe you need a little inspiration. Courtney Steele with Up and Away Weddings is here this morning with what's trending with spring weddings this year. So welcome, Courtney.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Up and Away Weddings, your site.
So essentially, it's really a website for couples to find inspiration, tips, ideas, advice from wedding vendors, and also to find a good local quality vendors for not just Albuquerque, but around New Mexico as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so do you do just brides, or do you do everything when it comes to a wedding?
We cover everything. So we've even had little tips and videos on there from one of the local suits stores of how to tie a bow tie properly. So, you know, we try to cover everything. We try to have a little bit there for the guys, the grooms as well. So
kind of those things you don't think about, but very important for the big day. What was kind of your inspiration behind putting up the site?
Really, it was actually my own wedding. So I got married about 1.5 years ago.
Oh, congrats.
Thank
That's exciting.
you. Yeah, so when I started planning my wedding, it kind of jump-started this idea that I didn't want to go through 10 to 20 pages of Google pages to try and find something that I was looking for. And we don't really have something in New Mexico that has, you know, all of this in one place like a lot of the other states in the United States do. So it just kind of, I don't know, just jump-started this idea and thought, you know, why not just do it myself?
We were kind of missing that as far as, and you can see it there, you have it kind of separated into all these nice categories where you can pinpoint anything you want to know about and find inspiration is what we're kind of talking about. It's sort of like Pinterest.
So it's a little, not exactly. So I do have a Pinterest board, and it is connected to the website itself. So if you're looking just for basic images, but also like weekly, I try and update with either a stylized shoot, a real wedding, a real engagement session. So every week there's new content on the site on Mondays. I generally try and do it sometimes twice a week right now to really bring that real life aspect to it. So it's not just images that you see on Pinterest, but it's also sometimes the whole wedding inspiration or a whole engagement session, or, you know, things like that, or tips and ideas and things like that that you can find on there.
I love that. And you said you did have a photography background, correct?
Yeah, actually it's I'm a full-time wedding photographer. I work actually for Blue Rose Photography Studio here in town.
Okay.
So I've been there for a few years now, and it was kind of something both my boss and I were realizing there just wasn't something like this in New Mexico. So just, you know, kind of.
So you know your stuff. You've seen a lot of weddings.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and things that we need to work on. And I love the fact that you have those videos on the site too. When it comes to the bow ties, we know those can give us some problems.
Be a little tricky, right?
Yeah. Now, as far as what's trending this season, tell us about that.
There's actually quite a few things. It's pretty exciting. So one of the things that's great, I'm really excited to see, is two-piece wedding gowns. A lot of times you'll see, like even the crop tops, just something a little bit different, you know, something a little bit more unique. So that's pretty fun. Keep an eye out for that. The other thing that's really trending this season is a lot of charity affiliations. So whether the couple works at a charity or donates to a charity regularly, or they forego the wedding favors to donate to a charity of their choice. There's a lot of things like that, but even some brides are donating their dresses to charities. Like, for instance, there's one that's called Brides Against Breast Cancer, and they're actually doing an event here in town in Albuquerque. It's May 9th, and it's actually going to be at Sandia Golf Club, the new facility that they have there. So they're actually doing this whole event where they're going to be selling these wedding gowns to raise money for this cancer research and for families to be able to get accessibility to that health care.
I love that. So selling the donated gowns for those who need them. That's a great cause. And I like that. I like that idea of kind of incorporating maybe your favorite charity into your wedding there. Now, as far as Albuquerque itself goes, is there a few spots around town that are really popular when it comes to weddings?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a lot. I think that's one of the things that people don't quite realize when they do start doing the research for weddings, is there's a lot of options, especially in Albuquerque. And then, of course, even if you move beyond that, Santa Fe and Las Cruces and all of that, you know, there's so many options available. But here in Albuquerque, it just kind of depends on if you're looking to do an outdoor wedding, or if you're looking to do everything indoor, if you're wanting to do a chapel wedding. You know, there's some great places, Los Poblanos, Casa Randeña, Sandia, of course, they have, you know, the great mountain scenery, but there's also some places I think are not really as well known, like Casa de Sueños.
Okay.
So it's a bed and breakfast, and it's downtown, and it's a really sweet little area. So there are a lot of options, and we really push people to kind of do the research, and that's why we try and help with the website, be able to bring all of that to them so they don't actually have to try and call everyone and find everything. So
you made it easy, I think, for those who are planning to get married. You kind of narrowed it down to one site. And give us the site one more time.
It's upupandawayweddings.com.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just pretty simple, pretty easy. Want to give a little nod to the balloon fiesta that we have here. So
exactly. I know we're too gorgeous of a state. We gotta take advantage of this.
We do. We have a lot of options. We have a lot of resources and things available here, and I feel like people just are not quite sure what's out there.
Yes, and you made it so easy for us. Thank you so much, Courtney, for joining us this morning for Up and Away Weddings. Go to her website. You can go to our website, KRQE.com. We'll have more info there. We'll be right back.